What's up, everybody? This is Drew from KBC coming at you with a new beer alert. This time we have a nice collaboration beer that we did with BAOS Podcast, Beer and Other Shit. We sat down with C certified brewhead to talk about this new creation that we came up with. It is called Shelf a Bickie. It is a 5.7 Monte Carlo inspired smoothie. What is a Monte Carlo? It's an Australian cookie. We actually sat down with Craig to do a virtual tasting, and let's get into it. Craig, thanks for hooking up this little virtual tasting of this great creation. We're talking about this just before, and I think we even talked about it during the link up. We've known each other for a good amount of years.
I think like 5 years.
You guys came down. Yeah, you, Tiff, and Scott came down in 2018, but we had been talking even well before that, trying to do something with the Montrealers and all that stuff. I have no idea, and this is completely on me, why we never did anything beer-wise together. So that's totally on me, but I'm glad that we got something off the ground. So before we get into this collab, to talk about what it is, let's talk about some things that it wasn't. So
Yes.
What other ideas did we have on the table? I was trying to think about that just before.
Yeah, there was a couple, but I feel like it's on me too. I feel like there was some, we talked about it and it was like back and forth on Messenger. I feel like, and you know what we did? We jumped on the phone as soon as we got, and we spoke on a video call, and then we figured it out in like 10 minutes. It was so much easier. So I think that's why. So I know it's not just your fault. The other idea, so this was the primary idea as far as like the smoothie sour, and we'll talk about it a bit more. But I was just worried that it was too ridiculous because it's something that, like, you know, Canadians might not know much about as far as the style or the actual dessert it's based on, I'm sorry. So I was like, okay, this is fun, and, you know, you and me both really love fun, crazy things. But then we're like, okay, well, maybe it's easy if we do a New England IPA with, say, all Aussie hops. Being that, you know, that's something that you do very, very well. You know, playing off the Aussie things, pretty easy. But when we spoke, and you were like, yeah, it's cool, but you sort of, you felt that it was like, it's just like too easy to just do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is completely fine.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that would have been sick too, and I still would like to do that, to be honest. But this is something that was more ridiculous, more of a challenge for I guess, both of us, and I guess we'll get into that as well. But yeah, I think that was the main thing, and I think we played around with some sort of smoothie idea, and we were trying to, we talked about a Lamington. That's what it was, remember? The Lamington.
That was it, yeah.
It was a Lamington.
Exactly.
Which is another Aussie cake. It's like a sponge cake covered in chocolate. Sometimes it's cut in the middle, there's jam and cream or something, and it's covered in desiccated coconut. So we thought we could replicate that, but we didn't know if you could, like, what would chocolate do in a smoothie? We didn't really know how that would go down. So... Right.
Yeah. And we wanted to do it for National Lamington Day.
Which was July 21st, I think.
Yeah, and by the time we clicked into, like, hey, we should do that Lamington, it was already Lamington Day. So
yeah.
So what we actually did settle on was smoothie sour, which I know you're very happy about. We did add lactose in there because we have to hashtag team lactose on that. So we have Shelf a Bickie, which is a Monte Carlo inspired smoothie.
Yes.
Now, Craig, tell us what the hell is a Monte Carlo?
A Monte Carlo is this bad boy right here. So it's an Australian cookie, I guess. We call them biscuits, hence Bickie. You know, one thing that, you know, we grew up eating this particular one. You know, you just like have tea and Bickies is like the thing, and like you'd have it as a kid, and then it was always like old people had it, and then as we got into our 20s, my friends and I used to always have tea and Bickies because it was kind of funny, but it was also kind of lit. So the Monte Carlo was...
I would never imagine sitting down with my friends in my 20s, drinking tea and having cookies.
I'm not joking. We, like, during the day, we genuinely did it, and it was like, it was making fun. It was ironic, but we enjoyed it too. So this is my favorite one. I'm fortunate. I live close by to an Aussie pie shop here in Montreal that started getting these in. Like, they used to sell them individually, and I would go, can I get 4 of them for like 75 cents each or whatever? And then they started selling the packs. So every time I'm in there, I literally just buy everything they have. So yeah, this is the cookie. It's I guess essentially like a vanilla cookie on the outside, and it's got cream in the middle, kind of Oreo style, but it's like an oval. It's more of a coconut is the primary kind of thing, and it's got this like chewy, like actually, funnily enough, here's one I prepared earlier. So
there you go.
This is the actual Bickie here, and see, it's got that like red stuff on there. It's kind of like a chewy outer layer, and the inside is kind of like vanilla coconut. So, and it's like this sort of vanilla-y cookie stuff. And you said you identified some lemon zest in this as well.
Yeah, I did get a little bit of a lemon thing out of the cookie. That sort of red, sort of chewy stuff. I found it almost like candy coating for like what do you call that? Like for other kind of sweets, you know.
Definitely.
But yeah, it's a very interesting cookie. Now, when we made this, actually, let's crack it because I'm getting thirsty here.
Yes.
All right.
So it's 5.7%. It's, I think, one of the things. I definitely commend you and Amanda and the brewing team for what you've been able to do with this particular beer, because it's not something that's real like typically translated into a beer. Like it's not, you don't get liquid cookies as such, right? So it's, you did a really good job. And tell them, I think you're about to say, tell them the challenge that I presented you with, essentially. By
Well, definitely the challenge was that we weren't able to link up in advance to get some cookies. So we're basically flying blind, just on basically what you were describing the cookie or Bickie to us. Yeah. So, and then, kind of trying to dial in those proportions. So yeah, that was definitely the challenge. Yeah.
Because I had to just tell you about it, and I'm reading the ingredients off the packet to you. I'm like, all right, so it's got, the jam in the middle, raspberry juice, there's coconut, there's golden syrup, and there's all this stuff. And you're like, okay, cool, raspberry, coconut, all right, sweet. And, you're just doing it completely blind. So to come up with something like this is pretty crazy that you're able to do that blind. Yeah. It was amazing.
So what are your thoughts on the shelf of Bickie?
So the old shelf of Bickie, it's got the great, obviously, smoothie mouthfeel that we're here for. I feel like it's got a nice, like a film from the coconut fat, which is an interesting, I guess, element of a smoothie, but it's not uncommon. A lot of smoothies have weird shit in them, so part of the game. I enjoy that part. It's definitely raspberry forward, more so than the biscuit itself, and which is completely dope because raspberry is always killer. You can definitely get the coconut, the vanilla and the graham crackers. Obviously, it's kind of hard. You don't just make this type of cookie here. So, the vanilla and the graham are like they hit the spot as far as getting this exact kind of flavor. I think it's fantastic, man. Like it's once again a super tough thing to mimic exactly. So, we are going to tweak it, and we'll talk about that, I guess, in a sec too. But I think it's great. I don't know if you might have any more tasting notes based on what you did.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's very heavy on the raspberry. I think if we're well, actually, when I delivered the cans to you, you had a couple of the Monte Carlos extra, which was really awesome. So so we got to actually try the cookies after the fact, and there's definitely like a lot of tasting notes that we had taken afterwards. So I definitely think we're going to do a version 2 of this to be a lot closer to the cookie.
Yeah.
But we went heavy on the raspberry because out of the biscuit, like the original biscuit, that's pretty much the only fruit in there. And for a smoothie, you're gonna need fruit.
Yeah, basically.
So, but I would definitely find something to maybe dial that down a little bit. The raspberry aspect of it, I definitely love that lemon flavor that's in the cookie. That sort of like lemon rind, almost lemon zest. We put a little bit in here, but definitely not enough. I think all we're getting is like a little bit more of that lemon acidity rather than the lemon flavor. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, who's never going to be unhappy to drink a smoothie, you know?
Well,
maybe the people who don't believe in smoothies.
people don't think they're beer. Well, you know, that's their problem, because there's more for us who do believe that it is beer. I think it's super cool. It's just like a fun beer, and like honestly, this is what you and I were out to achieve with this. It was just making a fun product that was fun and easy to drink, that really just hit all the markers of a smoothie. And now that you have tried the cookie after the fact, I'm to be honest mostly impressed that you came this close to it just based off Googling it and like, you know, reading different things and without trying it. So now that you're going to do a little bit of like a second batch with some tweaks, like as far as less raspberry and just more coconut and more lemon maybe. I definitely think I definitely think we have to ride that coconut a little bit harder too for the second version. It's a bit too subtle in this one, I would find. But for people who don't like coconut, which there are many people who don't like coconut, this is probably more up your alley than version 2 that will come out in the theaters near you. So. That's money, bro. I love it. I'm just excited. It's I appreciate you putting my stupid face on the can, and
we had to.
I guess there's no choice. But hopefully the Aussies will appreciate the reference, you know, the Bickie in there. That it's like a common term, and I think they might enjoy that. You don't see it too much out here.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
I love it. So let's wrap it up, but let's get that iconic face that you always do that's on this can.
Oh, we should get this.
Perfect. Thank you very much, man.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for doing it. Look forward to hearing what everyone thinks about it. Let us know. Make sure you follow at Kanawaki Brewing. Comment. Let us know what you think of the Bickie. Check us out at BAOS Podcast. And, you know, let us know. And then we've got version 2 coming soon enough.
Perfect.
Get it in you.
Thank you very much, Craig.
Appreciate you, brother.
Everybody do check out BAOS Podcast and shelf that Bickie.
Shelf it, man. Just shelf that.
Shelf it.
Cheers,
Thank
man.
you.
Appreciate you.
Cheers.
Cheers.